Remember the man who could scare an entire room without saying a single word? To the world, Jack Palance was the definition of toughness. That steel jaw, those piercing eyes, the slow, controlled voice that made him one of Hollywood's most unforgettable villains. On screen, he looked indestructible. But off-screen, he was quietly falling apart. Born Vladimir Ivanovich Polanik in Pennsylvania to Ukrainian immigrant coal miners, Palance didn't grow up dreaming of fame. He grew up dreaming of survival. Before Hollywood ever knew his name, he worked in the same brutal coal mines as his father, then fought professionally as a boxer just to escape that life. Pain wasn't something you complained about. Pain was something you endured. That mindset followed him into World War II, where he served as a pilot. A devastating training accident left him badly burned, injuries that would permanently change his face. Ironically, the same scars that helped create his iconic, chiseled look also became a lifelong source of suffering he would never publicly admit. Hollywood saw strength. But behind closed doors, his wives saw something else entirely. After making his breakthrough in Panic in the Streets and terrifying audiences as Jack Wilson in Shane, Palance became the man directors called when they needed controlled menace. He dominated films throughout the 1950s and 60s, turning villains into deeply human characters. And decades later, at age 72, he shocked the world again, winning an Oscar for City Slickers and famously dropping to the floor to perform one-armed push-ups on live television. It looked like a stunt. It was actually a secret, because by then, every movement hurt. Years of boxing injuries, war trauma, performing his own stunts, horse riding accidents, and untreated physical damage from decades earlier. At home, his wife Elaine Rogers witnessed what the public never did. Chronic pain, sleepless nights, difficulty walking, the slow, stubborn decline of a man who refused to show weakness, even to doctors. He didn't want pity, she later revealed. He wanted dignity. While audiences saw a legend who refused to age, she saw someone terrified of becoming dependent on others. And then came the emotional blow he never truly recovered from, the tragic death of his first wife Virginia Baker in 2003. Though they had long been divorced, she was the mother of his children, and losing her reopened wounds that had never fully healed. From that moment on, those closest to him said something inside Jack Palance changed. He kept smiling, kept working, kept riding horses on his ranch. But the silence grew heavier. By the time he passed away in 2006 at the age of 87, after suffering a stroke, the world believed it had lost one of the toughest men in film history. Only his family knew the truth, that the man who built a career on strength spent his final years quietly battling pain he refused to confess, fearing not death, but helplessness. And in the end, Jack Palance's greatest performance wasn't played in front of a camera. It was the lifelong act of pretending he wasn't hurting at all.